Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast, episode 156. I've taken 3 months off. I haven't done this in 3 months, so I'm feeling a little rusty. This episode's not going to be good. If this is your first episode, go find another solo episode because this is not it. This one, it ain't it. This is getting the rust off and getting right back in. There's this weird echo in this room. I just realized that before, or right now, as I recorded, there's this weird echo in this room, and it's going to throw me off the whole episode. And I hope to God that it's not being picked up by the microphone, but it probably is. It's okay. It's fine. We're all good here. We're all good in the hood, as they say. I can't really get into detail as to why there was a 3-month break. Okay? I'll say a couple things and then we got to move on. All right? I'm back in Massachusetts. This isn't even a studio. This is at my family game room. This is a pool table right here. Okay? This isn't even a real studio. So, we're here in Massachusetts. Again, we're back. Baby, we traveled all the way to Texas just to come right back where we started. So, we're here back in Massachusetts. It's freezing outside. It's so cold here. It's horrendous. It's so bad that it would make any sane person want to put a gun in their mouth and taste lead. But aside from that, I'm single now, okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay? The last podcast that was recorded, I wasn't single, and now I am. So that's it. That's all. We're done with that. No more details, okay? For right now. No more details for right now. And I'm in a little dicey situation, I'll say. The situation, dude, the red tape that I'm working around right now is insane, okay? The lasers that I'm done, you've never seen a man do what I'm trying to do here, okay? The things that I'm not allowed to say right now and the way I'm not saying them is honestly impressive. If you knew, if you knew the things, and you will, if you keep watching, give me like a year, baby. Give me a year and there'll be a full in-depth story. But for right now, no details, no story, this is it, okay? I'm in Massachusetts. I'm single now. And I'm going to be here a while, okay? That's all we're going into. And the reason why I didn't do the whole YouTuber thing or whatever where you sit in front of a camera and hey guys, so some stuff's been going on with my life and I need to take a break for a while and I don't know when I'm gonna be back, and that's gay. It's a little homosexual, quite frankly, when people do that. And I didn't want to be that guy. And in all honesty, the person who taught me that lesson was none other than PewDiePie. PewDiePie taught me a lesson, okay? And he put it in a very, more eloquent way than calling it gay. But he basically said that, look, rather than taking time from your break of the internet, right, and spending that break trying to explain why you're going to take a break, just take a break. And so that's sort of what I did. It's been 3 months, although I uploaded a podcast last month. You're welcome. So I didn't even really take a month off. I saved the podcast. I stopped recording. I uploaded it last month, and now I'm back, and I'm recording. I'm uploading This is, I guess, another piece of detail. I'm going to upload right after I record this me and Dominic's last podcast that we've ever recorded. And it's going to be the last one ever. There's not going to be another me and Dominic episode ever again. You'll never see Dominic on this podcast again. So I can't say anything else. There's nothing else I can say. I want to say more. I really do, but you need to move on. You need to move on. It's over. It's done with. We'll get back to Austin, Texas. But for right now, I'm in the shithole that is Massachusetts. I'm in the disgusting, this gross state that is Massachusetts. And speaking of this, horrific state that I'm in right now, there's a microphone in the way. So if I keep doing this to my computer, that's why I'm doing that. But speaking of this, lovely state that I'm in, that I totally don't hate, we need to talk about this because I saw this today. And I find it very interesting. And I'll read this. Press release: Senate passes legislation prohibiting cat declawing in Massachusetts. Woo! We did it. We fucking did it, boys. We did it, okay? We did it. We got cats to keep their claws. Let's go. Let's fucking go. As my generation to say, this is lit, okay? This is lit dead ass, as my fellow generation would say. I don't even know really where to begin on this in any sort of way, because for a lot of reasons. I guess I'll start with the fact that Massachusetts is so great and so perfect. There's nothing wrong here. There's zero problems in Massachusetts. When people go, hey, what's the best part about Boston and Massachusetts? I go, you want to know what the best part is? All of it. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't even know why anyone would ever criticize this lovely state. And the lawmakers, they realize this. So, but they want to keep working. They want to try to keep making the best place on earth better. That's what their goal is, okay? And what did they do? They got out of their fucking houses that probably cost $500,000 and are the square foot of 2,000 feet, but $500,000. And they go, what is the problem here? Is it the fact that I have a 20,000 or 2,000 square foot house and it costs $500,000? No, that's not an issue. No, I have no problem with that. The problem is, the true issue with Massachusetts is people keep getting rid of their pet cat's claws. That's a real concern to the people in Massachusetts. The people in Massachusetts who drink Dunkin' Donuts all day long just so that they can go home and start drinking immediately or start smoking weed or do cocaine. What they are really concerned about is not the fact that they're all miserable and depressed and talk in a retarded accent that doesn't make any sense. It's the fact that people are declawing their cats. That's the issue. That's the real problem here. It's not, shut up about Brockton. Brockton, what's Brockton? I don't even know. What's Brockton? I don't even know what that is. What are we talking about? Brockton an issue? Stop it. So don't bring up Brockton, Massachusetts. Don't do that. don't. Hey, we're not going to bring up Brockton. We got to bring up the declawing of animals. That's the issue here. That's the real problem. By the way, we're still cutting off babies' penises. We are cutting off a baby's penis in America probably, I don't know, every hour? I'd say how many babies are born in the United States? I don't care. I'm not going to look it up. It doesn't matter. An hour, every 2 hours, every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes. How often are they a boy? Who cares? It doesn't matter. We cut off at least the front end of a baby's penis every day in the United States. And I'm all for cutting babies' penises off. I am. I really am. I think that it should be encouraged. Enough with the dick cheese. Get that foreskin off. But the idea... the idea that for whatever reason... I feel like that would be the place to start. If we're going to get rid of, people who can't defend themselves or animals or things or whatever, or living beings, I'll say. Living beings who can't defend themselves, who can't give their opinion or voice on a matter, who's getting a body part removed. I feel like we should start with the babies getting their penises cut off. No? No? Is that an appropriate place to start? Would that not be the most appropriate place to start? Again, we have this huge border crisis, right? We have an election coming up. Abortion's illegal, okay? Weed's still illegal in some states, right? Including Texas, even though that I like Texas a lot better than Massachusetts and much better run state government. That didn't make any sense. The government in Texas is run much better down there than in Massachusetts because they're not making it illegal to declaw your cats. But we have a lot going on in this country. We have, people say that there's a gun crisis, there's global warming, but, also the Federal Reserve keeps printing money and giving it to more and more wealthy people while, the lower class just has to deal with, that one word, not innovation, the other one, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm 2 drinks in. It doesn't matter. I'm getting the rust off here. All right, I'm getting the rust off here. And by the way, I'm going to think of that word 5 minutes later and say it randomly, but it's okay. Yeah, I just don't think that we should start with declawing of the animals. But again, the people in Massachusetts, right? These are the same people who may put, Charlie Baker. They elected Charlie Baker as governor, and he put a bedtime on COVID. Do you remember about that? They had a 9:30 bedtime for everybody in the state. You couldn't go outside past 9:30 unless you were working, which doesn't make any sense, right? Especially because I worked at a grocery store at the time. And the only people who are in the grocery stores past 9:30, you guessed it, are people not working at their jobs. So, whatever though. So these retards in Massachusetts want to declaw, don't want people to declaw. Which, by the way, I am Brockton. I mean, I'm just going to look up Brockton, Massachusetts, because if you've ever seen Brockton, Massachusetts, okay, that's not Brockton. I don't know where this is. This is not Brockton, Massachusetts. This right here, no. This is not Brockton. Here, hold up. We'll pull up Brockton, Massachusetts hood. How about that? How about we'll pull up that? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There we go. There, thank you. That's the image that I was looking for. Yeah, Brockton, Massachusetts, if you haven't been, isn't the best place to be. It's not. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of homeless, which I don't even know how the homeless survive here, because it's fucking -4 degrees outside all the time, and it's fucking inhabitable. But I see them. I go to work. I work in Brockton now, and it's not great. It's not a great place to stay. And if we're gonna address anything in Massachusetts, Brockton's a decent place to start. It's not a bad place to start. I'll say that. Trying to clean up the streets of Brockton, Massachusetts is not a horrible place to start. Or maybe fixing the roads in Brockton, because God forbid the fucking potholes in Brockton, Massachusetts are so big and so large that you can't even get a car through. But God forbid these dirty fucking cat owners. What are you doing? No, I'm not almost done. Why? Are people here? What's going on? When? I'm sorry. I was recording. I didn't start till late. I need to get this done. I'm 15 minutes in. By the way, this is my sister talking to me. This 411 person. What? 30 minutes.
No, 8:15. I asked for 8. We'll meet in the middle.
8:30.
No.
Why not 8:30?
Because people are going to be here by 8:30.
Okay, I'll hang out with them on the podcast.
No. 15 minutes.
All right, we'll discuss. I need to finish recording now.
15 minutes.
All right, this is the problem though, right? This is the problem with having a podcast here, right? Is like I wanted to record, right? And like I can't because, and I'm not blaming my sister, by the way. This is not my sister's fault, but this isn't probably going to work and there's probably going to be problems. But,
I'll give you till 8:20, okay?
okay, fine, whatever. That sounds good. All right. But, this is the problem here. With again, I'm not blaming my sister at all, but, this is going to be a rough ride with having a podcast in the middle of the basement, okay, where my sister, rightfully so, wants the basement, and I understand her, concerns or whatever, because, her boyfriend's here, she wants to get dick down. I understand that. I'm not opposed to that. But, it's just going to interfere with me ranting about the Massachusetts Senate not taking care of Brockton and wanting to stop people from declawing their cats. It is what it is. So, whatever, though. That's besides the point. We'll get into that again later. But, you think, okay, well, how are they going to enforce this? How are they going to enforce? What's the punishment, right? For what is it? For declawing cats in Massachusetts. Here's what it says here. All right. Under this legislation, the civil penalty for violating this prohibition is $1,000 for the first offense. You can't make this up. Yeah, I'm telling you right. By the way, who is going to catch somebody declawing their cat? Could you imagine? Imagine the phone call the police get as you go over to your friend's house, right? And you go, hey, what's going on? You got a cat? And your friend goes, yeah, I got a cat. I got a cat, new one. It's 2 years old. I've had it for over a year now. And you go, oh, nice. Your furniture isn't torn to pieces. How do you have a kitten and your leather furniture isn't destroyed? You must have trained him really well. Oh, and your friend, he pulls you aside. He goes real close and he goes, well, actually, we drove it to New Hampshire. And we got it. Snip. We got it declawed. And what? Now, let's say you're a fucking idiot who wants to call the police over your friend over this. And you call the cops. You call 911. People who are used to answering for school shootings or, God forbid, shootings in Brockton, Massachusetts, and robberies in Brockton, and who are used to dealing with domestic violence cases and all the shit that America has, all this fucking violent bullshit and school shootings, and God forbid, there was a bomb threat. There was a bomb threat at Oliver Ames High School this year. So imagine in between the domestic violence, the bomb threats, the school shootings, the robberies in Brockton, the murders in Brockton, the shootings in Brockton. Aside from all that, you're going to get a phone call. You're a police operator, and you pick up the phone and you go, hey, what's going on? This is 911. What's your emergency? And you go, yeah, my friend. I'm at my friend's house right now. And the craziest thing happened, okay? I went over there. He has a kitten. He's had a kitten for over a year. And I hate to say this. And I hate to do this to my friend, but I got to respect the law in Massachusetts. This upstanding law here in Massachusetts, okay? He declawed his cat. He declawed. It's no more. It's no more. It's the cat's claws gone. What is the police operator going to say? What is the... Because it's only one of two ways, right? The police operator, one, hangs up the phone and is like, we're not... All the police officers are domestic violence cases. Okay. Hang up the phone. Or what? They're going to send a police officer? They send and hand them a ticket for $1,000? I mean, are you insane? Are you insane? And by the way, this doesn't say, right, which is, all fucking laws. It doesn't say, like, first offense. Well, what if you have 3 cats? What if you have 3 cats and you got all 3 of them declawed? Is that the first, second, and third offense, or is that just the first offense? And are you going to charge the person who got the cat declawed, or are you going to charge the person who declawed the cat? Who are you going to charge here? The person who did the declawing, or the person who allowed the person who declawed to get the cat declawed? Who are you going to charge? And this is always the fucking issue with these dumb laws, is they don't make any fucking sense. Could you imagine? Because if you get 3 cats declawed, and let's say theoretically that is first offense, second offense, and third offense, and it also says subsequent offense, right? So does that mean that what? Subsequent offense. Subsequent offense, I think, is how you would say that word. Sorry, a little retarded. Again, can't read, dyslexic. Subsequent offense. What does that mean? What does subsequent offense mean? You can't just say, or subsequent offense. Does that mean jail time? Could you imagine being in prison, right? You're in jail. You're in a jail full of rapists and murderers. And the rapist is your cellmate. And he looks at you and he goes, hey, what'd they put you in for? And you go, well, I'm a cat guy. I like cats. I like having cats. I actually I take cats off the street. I go behind the back alleys and I take cats and wild cats, stray cats. I take them off the street because I want to take care of them. Unfortunately, though, they tend to fight back a lot. And so I found that if you take a stray cat, it's actually safer to get the cat declawed. And the rapist looks at you and goes, yeah? Why are you talking about cats? Did you fuck a cat? He goes, no, I just, I got it declawed. So then what? The rapist just rapes you because you're not even a criminal? Like, what happens here? But again, let's start with this. Instead of Brockton, instead of the Federal Reserve, which apparently Charlie Baker, it's not even the governor here. We got a woman governor. Thank God. Thank God. I'm not even going to try and say her name. I'm not even going to attempt to say it. If you're watching, you can read it on screen. Thank God we got a woman governor who's going to, allow the Senate to give people fines for declawing their animals that they own. And would you even care? Think about it. Think about it in this way, right? You're a cat. For 1 second, you're a cat. You can live outside in Massachusetts where it gets to -4 degrees out during the winter, or you can have a lifetime of free food, being taken care of in a warm house, but unfortunately, you don't get to keep your claws. I choose that life over mine. Over mine right now, living as a human being in Massachusetts. I'd rather be a cat. And be fat as fuck with my testicles removed, eating processed foods, and laying around all day sleeping, rather than being me, recording this podcast that no one's going to fucking listen to. That truly I would believe that. And having a sister who wants to come down and interrupt this podcast, that matters a lot to a lot of people. No, it doesn't. But this state is retarded. It's done. It's done with. You need to nuke Massachusetts. Please, God forbid, nuke Massachusetts. Get it off the fucking map. Give it to Israel. Give it to fucking Israel for all I care. Let the Jews invade Massachusetts. Because I can't fucking take this place. Declawing cats. Get the fuck out of here. All right, let's move on to another subject. And we can't really, that's not what I wanted to do. Fuck. All right. But let's get, we have another thing to talk about. And I can't really show a video for this. There's no evidence. You got to trust me on this. You can Google it for yourself, but unfortunately, it's not going to work. Drake's dick video. Guy's got a long cock. He's got a long schlong on him. You know what I'm saying? His long schlong. And everybody's talking about Drake's huge, ginormous penis. He's got a large cock. He's got a nice cock on him. And not that there's anything wrong with that nice penis. A nice penis is a nice penis. It is what it is. And everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about how large it is. There's memes about it. It's hilarious. I can't really add comedy on top of comedy, right? If you go look at the video, you'll laugh. If you go look at the memes, you'll laugh. There's not really too many jokes I can make about a dude's long dick, other than I want to put it in my mouth, which is, it's just going to be gay jokes if I make any other jokes about it, which, they are funny, but, we're a different breed of comedy here on the Kpush podcast. We're above that, okay? We're above gay jokes. We don't say faggot here. So I can't really say anything about it, but I will say that it's a nice cock and it's big. What I do want to talk about, though, that I do think is very interesting is the fact that this happened the exact same week. Bobby Altov's divorce. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Just think about it for a second. And I called this out months ago. I called it out so long ago that Bobby Althoff was fucking her guests and she had sex with Drake. She had sex with Drake. And the reason why, do not believe that this is a coincidence. Do not, I'm telling you right now, do not believe that Bobby Althoff's divorce and Drake's dick video being leaked are not in any way connected. They are. They're straight connected. There's never been two stories more connected ever. And nobody is putting the pieces together here. Nobody's putting the pieces together. That Wednesday, Drake's dick video gets released, and by Friday, Bobby Althoff's husband is filing for divorce. It's true. You don't record a podcast in a bed. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird, and that's strange, and it's odd. And I would never do that unless I was having sex with the woman afterwards or during the podcast. And I would do that. I would. Don't trust me that I'm above that. I totally would. If Angela White, okay, because Angela White, the porn star, is going on all these podcasts, okay? If Angela White wanted to come on the Kpush podcast, which I don't think she would, but let's say theoretically she does want to, right? And you and me me and her, we're in a bedroom together. You know, not in a bedroom, in a bed together, recording. You know for a fact that I licked her pussy, she sucked my dick, I put my dick in her pussy before the podcast, after the podcast, or in the middle of the podcast. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know when Bobby Althoff and Drake fucked, but they did. And the reason why Drake's video was released almost the same time as Bobby Althoff's divorce filed is because of the fact that she fucked Drake. And if you fuck one podcast guest, right? If you have sex with one of your podcast guests, you don't stop there. You don't gamble once. Okay? You don't gamble once. You don't try heroin for the one time. How many people have smoked an entire cigarette once? Zero? 0%? You don't do that once. It's probably addictive. There's like a sexual tension, and then there's a camera, and you got all these microphones, but secretly all you're thinking about is a dick going inside a vagina. And that's got to feel awesome. And don't say that you wouldn't do that if you had it. Shut up. Don't say that if you didn't have a fucking podcast. Okay, you would. You totally would. If you were a girl, right, and you had an attractive man with what we know now is a very nice cock, and also happens to be the biggest artist, arguably, of all time. And maybe Drake's not the biggest artist of all time, but he's up there. What is he, top 10? Top 20? He's up there. Who gives a fuck? He's up there. And I don't even like his music necessarily, but the idea that you wouldn't even consider sitting on his nice cock. Shut up. Shut up. Yes, you would. Now, the difference is, between, sane people and unsane people is Bobby Althoff was married and had 2 children. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think I would have sex with Angela White on my podcast or before or afterwards if I had a wife and 2 children. That would seem odd. I think that would be weird. It would be weird. Is that okay to say? Is that okay to say that would be weird? I don't know. I think it would. I think it'd be very strange. So, look. I would say, what are you going to do here? She's getting divorced. She's got one saggy titty. Her podcast still is not good. It's still not good. There's a reason why she took down the Drake video. There's a reason why she got divorced while the Dick video was released. And, this is a wrap. And she's fucking her podcast guests. Maybe not all of them, but a percentage of them. And that's probably how she's getting very popular podcast guests so quick and so fast. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do here? You can't really do anything. She got caught red-handed, unfortunately, because if you have any sense of what is and what isn't logic, you know that this isn't a coincidence here. So, good luck, Bobby Altoff, with having sex with Drake. Good luck with your divorce. Your podcast still sucks. But she's doing better than me. Maybe I should try and fuck podcast guests. So, what are you going to do? Although I don't have ginormous, saggy tits, and one of them's way bigger than the other one. Maybe if I did that, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should get plastic surgery with my titties. Maybe I should get plastic surgery on my titties and just let one, hang. You know what I mean? Maybe then Drake would want to have sex with me. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to have sex with Drake. And then I'll be as popular as Bobby Altoff. Anyway, we're going to move on from Bobby Altoff because I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about her. There's nothing really else left to say. What I do want to talk about, though, is the Golden Globes, I think it is, or whatever. But anyway, they had a comedian host, which... who is this guy? I mean, can we start there? Who? Can we get, somebody that everybody knows and who may actually be funny? And not saying that this guy isn't funny, because, look, I want to talk about this because a lot of Taylor Swift fans were coming after this guy. And because Taylor Swift took a sip of her drink and rolled her eyes. So that means he's not funny. But the reality is, okay, the people at the Golden Globes, the people at the Oscars, the people at the Emmys, all of these different award shows for art, it's not a good crowd. It's not a good crowd of people. They're usually stuck up human beings who are just trying to be there to be popular. And the thing is with being popular is you got to be woke. You got to be woke. And comedy and woke, it doesn't go together at all. There's nothing about comedy and the woke mindset. They don't go together. But the thing is the audiences at the Oscars, the Emmys, the Golden Globes, whatever your fucking shitty award show you're watching, these audiences are terrible for comedians. They always are. Now, that being said, this guy could have handled it better, for sure. This guy could have brought better jokes. This guy could have maybe played to the audience a little bit more. But also, the most comedian thing that you would do is say no. Unless he was getting paid massive amounts of money, which in that case, get your bag. Which he probably was. So, congratulations to this guy for getting his bag at the Golden Globes. Unfortunately, he pissed off Taylor Swift. He made Taylor Swift upset. So we're gonna watch, some Taylor Swift reaction videos. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch some reaction videos. We are. This is what we're gonna do. That Taylor Swift fans made.
Difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL. On the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
Man is allowed to react. A woman can only overreact.
All right, that's the first one.
Oh, Taylor Swift's reaction was so dramatic. It was so dramatic. Will Smith last year got up and smacked Chris Rock. Like, what? But her sipping her drink is dramatic? Dude, like, come on now. Be for real. Oh, Taylor Swift's reaction was so dramatic. It was so dramatic.
All right, and then we got one more tweet, and then this is 3 examples, and then I'm done. People are saying that Taylor Swift can't take a joke just because she didn't laugh and took a sip of her drink. Yet Will Smith walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock when he didn't find the joke amusing. Interesting. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say about all that. Okay? Taylor Swift fans, one message for you. Shut up about comedy. Stop talking about stand-up comedy. It's embarrassing, it's gross, and it's overall a little disgusting. It really is. How many Taylor Swift fans have watched an entire stand-up special? How many? Have watched Killing Them Softly? How many? 0? Is it 0%? Is it 0.000000001% have watched Killing Them Softly? How many know what Killing Them Softly is? How many know? And like, if you haven't watched an entire stand-up comedy special, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking about an art form you have no interest in, you have no knowledge about, and you have not given any fucks or any times or any thought to. The idea that you're going to compare Will Smith to Chris Rock in that situation means you haven't seen Chris Rock's new special, where he dedicates 20 fucking minutes of the last of his special to absolutely annihilating Will Smith and saying that he watches a movie about slavery just so that he can watch Will Smith get whipped. If you are you kidding me? Are you fucking shitting me right now? Stop talking about stand-up comedy. It's not your zone. It's not what you're in. Stop talking about it. Also, that joke really was not that horrible. And it also proves, like, oh, she's overreacting. This is, like, the big thing is, like, she wasn't overreacting. And the people who are calling Taylor Swift overreacting, she didn't really overreact. But that does prove that she wasn't a good audience member. She wasn't laughing before then. I guarantee you she wouldn't laugh at Chris Rock. I guarantee you she wouldn't laugh at Dave Chappelle. I guarantee you Taylor Swift probably hasn't been to a stand-up comedy show in a very, very long time. And probably doesn't go to them often. And so that alone is proof for me to say, as a comedian, that is enough for me to say Taylor Swift probably isn't a good audience member. Period. And also, she's woke. And she's captured in this fucking crazy ideology. And so, she's not going to like offensive jokes. Which means she's not going to be a good audience member. Which is fine. That's okay. But this idea that you're going to compare her to Will Smith. And say like, oh, but Will Smith, he didn't get any backlash. Shut up. Chris Rock dedicated 20 full minutes to Will Smith in his latest special on Netflix that you can go watch. But like, you're going to say some shit like this. Stop talking about this. And that's the thing about most Taylor Swift opinions or fans, Taylor Swift fans, is like, dude, you don't care about movies. You don't really care about music that much. You don't really care about, you've never picked up a book. I'm assuming you've never picked up a book. And if it is, it's like The Hunger Games. It doesn't like, it's not like fucking, it's not The Shining, okay? You're not picking up The Shining. DJ Callie's calling me. She's kicking me out, all right? Here, wait, hold on. I'll answer. I'm going to wrap up right now, okay? Do you have anything to say in the podcast?
No.
All right. I'm going to wrap up right now, all right? And then I'll come upstairs. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. DJ Khaled, she's kicking me out. The 411 sister of mine is kicking me out. So, and I told her 8:30 and it's 8:31, so I feel a little bit bad, and we hit 45 minutes, which is all I wanted to hit. This was, and we didn't even talk about the election. I want to talk about the election and how RKJ is probably going to be assassinated, and what the real question is RKJ, who's going to die first? RKJ by assassination or Joe Biden? That's the real question in this next election. But this was episode 156. Sorry about the bad solo episode. I know this episode wasn't that good, but I needed to get through it. I needed to get the rust off. The podcast stuff is set up now, so we'll be, doing this more. I have my friend Sam, who's been on the podcast, has a friend from the Ukraine who seems pretty cool, and his whole country was destroyed. So that seems like a interesting guest. So I might have him on. I can't talk about the situation. I really can't. I will eventually. For a fact, my ex-girlfriend is watching this podcast. You know for a fact she is. So I need to be a little careful about what I'm saying. And yeah, thanks for fucking watching. This has been episode 156. Bobby Altoff's divorce was caused by Drake. Massachusetts Senate's retarded for making it illegal to declaw cats. And Taylor Swift's not a good comedian audience member. And also Taylor Swift fans should shut the fuck up about stand-up comedy. That's been the episode. Anyways, thank you guys so much for fucking listening. You guys are baller. You guys are the reason why I keep doing this shit. I have to go. I have to end this, or my sister will come down with a rifle and shoot me. But don't worry. Don't worry. The police will be busy catching people declaw cats. Goodbye.